Hello everyone, we are Team Alligator. We are basically powering algal alchemy. The team consists of Luke, Matteo, Freya, Marine, and myself. We have conducted 12 interviews till date, and our team number is Select 2321. To take you through the contents of this presentation, we will be telling you what the problems we're trying to solve, the solution that we have come up with, and the products that we're offering to the market. And to look into the business model that we are utilizing, we will look into the key relationships that we develop, the opportunities that we establish and utilize, and the value proposition that we are creating of our products. And finally, we look at the value creation ecosystem of our startup, and finally, the economic feasibility, because money makes the world go round. Coming to the problem that we are solving, eutrophication. Eutrophication, what is eutrophication? Basically, any water that runs off from the farms creates these algal blooms due to the excess amount of fertilizer in these streams. These fertilizer basically consists of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which leads to harmful algal blooms, which deprive the water streams of oxygen, creating a harmful effect on the ecosystem. This harmful effect is not only limited to the ecosystem, but also leads to much more bigger problems to the people around and also the wildlife around. So it mainly occurs due to the agricultural runoff, and that's the issue and the market that we're targeting. The current solution that is used is the runoff ponds, and the EU spends more than a few millions and up to billions of dollars trying to solve these issues. These runoff ponds are huge ponds that are connected in series and store the water for a period of few weeks to a few months. And at the end of this period, the amount of silt that is generated is taken from these ponds and resupplied to the farms. But this is not a permanent solution and takes a lot of time, money, and effort on part of the farmer. So what solution have we come up with? Well, the main idea of our startup is the bioreactors. These bioreactors basically operate on the wastewater that are generated from the farms, and we in turn clean the water, and then we create two physical products. The one is the fertilizer, and the second is the polyols. Coming to the products that we create, fertilizer. Why are we doing fertilizer? Basically, there's a problem in the market with the fluctuating fertilizer prices, which creates a huge issue for the farmers. And these fertilizers that we create are not only eco products, but also have a stable price. Coming to the polyols, polyols are basically a bunch of compounds that are used to create plastics. Currently, these polyols come from fossil fuel sources. And this is not sustainable for the environment nor economically in the future. So our product from the algae that we generate create polyols that we sell to the plastic producers. And third, which seems to be our biggest revenue generator, is the water treatment facility that we provide. This facility that we provide is for the farmers and also the surrounding small localities that exist. Uh, and finally, to explore the markets that we are going to be targeting, Matteo will be presenting more.
Thank you, Sual. Yes, so first of all, we did our market analysis and we started with the total addressable market, which in this case is the global one, where in 2022, the value was around 609 billion for our product. It's projected to be around 810 billion in 2028. Then obviously, due to geographical limitation, we are just focusing on the European market, which is our serviceable addressable market, and it's around 330 billion. Finally, our serviceable obtainable market for our sum, we are just considering in this slide Kraton, which is one of the possible client for the for our bio oil, and their share of the market is around 0.2, and their total value is 1.5 billion. For the K relationship, looking at our business model canvas, we have the farmers, obviously, which are the most important for us, and it's where it all starts. And then we have the manufacturers for our bioreactor and all the infrastructure that we need for our products. The plastic producers are our clients also, where we're selling the bio oil. And then finally, the transportation relationship with companies that we need for shipping our products around Europe. And now, Luke, we talk more about the business model canvas.
Thank you, Matteo. So yeah, continuing with the business model canvas, we have the key activities. And so for Alligator, our main activity is going to be the wastewater treatment. And so we'll have bioreactors that will be producing algae. And then from this algae, we'll be then producing these polyoils. And then as a waste product, we'll have fertilizer, which can also be sold to local farmers or the farm that will be that hosts the bioreactor. And so all in all, the main activity is going to be our research, where we will be providing a proof of concept so we will be developing this process through our roadmap. But yes, the main goal is to provide a proof of concept, as this has not been seen very often, and providing bio-oils from algae that's from wastewater. And so, yes, the main activity will be a proof of concept. And so for the value creation ecosystem, as Matteo said, our main correspondent is going to be the farmers. And so using their land to have a bioreactor where we'll be treating the wastewater. And then so Alligator will be managing the reactor and then refining the algae to become polyoils. And then we'll sell this product to plastic producers, which will then they can then produce different products to then sell to customers. And so how all this is laid out in our roadmap. Next slide. We will be providing a pilot project over the next 24 months. Well, we will have initial investment, initial government investment, where we will be providing. We have one bioreactor that'll be placed on a farm of 1,000 cows. We've looked at a farm in the Netherlands, which is also where Kraton is, and so we will have this pilot project, which will start for the first 5 months and see how this proof of concept works. And then as we hope for this success, we will go on for the next 3 or 4 months and increase our production, purchasing another bioreactor along with increasing the number of workers that'll be managing the bioreactors, and so on until the last overall 24 months, where we will finally have 4 bioreactors and an increase of 4 workers, which will in turn have a positive cash flow. And so the cost of all of this is a bit tricky, and so we'll have Marijn explain all of this.
Yes, thank you, Luke. So for the cost of this company, they will exist of the bioreactors. They cost about an estimated 500,000 euro per reactor. The refinement unit will cost 10,000 euros per reactor. The COGS are 640,000 euros over the span of 2 years. And the operation will cost 170,000 euros over 2 years. A selling price for our 3 products. For the polyols will be 3,000 euros per ton. This is a lot higher, or quite a bit higher, than the current price for polyols, and we are estimating that this is necessary, and we are validating this because the European Union, or at least in Europe, there's lots of incentive for plastic to be produced from sustainable sources, and we're hoping for legislation that makes that work, such that the prices of polyols will actually increase to our needed price of 3,000 euros per ton. And the fertilizer is 1,000 euros per ton, which is just the same as the current price for fertilizer about. Then water cleaning services will be at 15 euros per cubic meters. This is also quite a bit higher than the current price for water cleaning. This is validated because the nitrogen problem, as we call it in the Netherlands, is quite substantial. It's a very big political and national issue we have. So currently the government has a fund of 25 billion euros for investment that can help reduce with the nitrogen pollution, and this investment will be up until 2035. So we hope that the government can pay us from that fund for the water that we have cleaned. All right, so our revenue streams are dependent on the number of reactors we have in operation. For the first 5 months, we'll have 1 reactor, or we'll have 2 reactors for the next 4 months, 3 reactors for the next 6 months, and then 4 until we have enough cash generated for the 5th one, which could be a while. Then the revenue stream from the fertilizer is, will generate 0.432 tons of fertilizer per reactor per month, which will therefore be 432 euros per month per reactor. The water cleaning revenue stream is 600 cubic meters per reactor per month. So the price or the generated revenue will be 9,000 euros also per reactor. And then the polyols would generate the same amount as the fertilizer, which is 0.432 tons per reactor per month, which will generate 1,296 euros. Right. For the funding for this company, we would need quite a bit, 2 million from the EU to fund our 4 reactors. This is reasonable because currently the EU has quite a bit of funding places for to reduce in the or to help with the eutrophication problems, namely 150 billion euros per year on environmental protection funding for corporation and 12 billion per year on agricultural development. And Alligator, our company, fits in both of these categories. Then there's other funding opportunities towards a strong, sustainable EU algae sector called the pilot funding by the European Commission, the European Green Deal, and Farm to Fork. Then we'll also have 300,000 euros from our own investors, or from ourselves, our friends, families, and fools, just to make sure that we have some money in ourselves as well. The cash flow, as you can see, is positive. That this comes from the funding of the European Union, of course, and will decrease every time we buy one of the reactors. And then there's a slight upward slope, also increasing with the amount of reactors we have coming from the revenue streams. And we've managed to stay positive over the span of 2 years. Thank you for your attention. We hope you enjoyed our presentation.
And from all of us, we want to say muchas gracias.